What do you think is the best way to build a great team in starting a startup? Dangerous question. So you've always got to know people well. This is something that I realized. It's not just about the skill sets, right? It's like you need to really trust your co-founders. And I read some tweets from an investor a couple of days ago, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but essentially he was arguing, it's a very controversial opinion, that solo founders are more successful than co-founders, simply because even though solo founders may have a small disadvantage of just being one person, there's so many startups that fail because of co-founder fallouts. So he was arguing that actually the benefit of having multiple founders is outbalanced by the downside of co-founder conflicts. I don't know if there's actual truth to that, right? I would have to look at the statistics. I think it's probably pretty balanced. Y Combinator still asks you to have co-founders, I believe. Some VCs don't really care about, so, both is possible. But the point I was getting at here is, in most cases, it's a good idea to already know your co-founders ahead of time. And that's something VCs will also often look for, right? They will really interview you very hard and be like, okay, so how long have you known each other? Have you worked together in the past? Because they're really scared of the risk of like a co-founder fallout, which means they will really assess if you have worked together in the past and have had positive experience, because that is a very good way to de-risk this, right? Example, Jeremy and I, we have worked together before, right? We're good friends, and I'm very confident we can start a startup together. I think this is going to be a ideal situation. Now, I know you will not always have friends who just happen to be an ideal co-founder, right? Maybe you need you're not technical, you need a CTO co-founder who can code, and you just don't happen to have someone who can do that, right? It's not always easy. But it's something really worth looking for, building long-term relationships. It's a bit like, think about it, it's like getting married, right? You're not going to get married to someone that you met yesterday on Tinder, right? It would be a terrible idea.